Chapter 3. From the first to the third day following death. The separation of the soul from the body. Point 3. The presence of the soul on earth during the 3 days following death. A certain number of fathers or authoritative texts of the Orthodox Church hold that, during the 3 days that follow clinical death, that is, the moment of death insofar as observed and determined from the outside, the soul, in nearly all cases, remains on earth. Thus, this prescription can be read in the Nomocanon of Manuel Malaxos. Let the deceased be commemorated and provisions be distributed to the poor on the 3rd, 9th, and 40th days after death. On the 3rd day, because the souls of the deceased remain on earth until the 3rd day that follows their separation from the body, and can, in the company of their guardian angels, visit any place they wish. This text expresses a very old teaching. St. Macarius of Alexandria affirms that the soul, remaining on earth after death, consoles the people of his household and the body which it has left. He specifies further, the soul is left for 2 days with the angels, the ones who have taken it away, in order for it to travel with them and go wherever it wishes. If it craves its body, it goes near it for a time in the tomb. It sometimes also goes for a time close to its near and dear ones, wherever it was accustomed, and these 2 days pass in this way while it flies about, circulates and seeks out those who love it, just like a bird seeking its nest. In the same way, a virtuous soul likewise goes into those places where it customarily practiced its good actions. St. Theopnostus restates and develops this teaching of St. Macarius. We also find it again with an Orthodox religious figure, St. John Maximovich. For the course of the first 2 days, the soul enjoys relative freedom and can visit places on earth which were dear to it. St. Theophan the Recluse shares the same concept. He writes to one of his spiritual sons whose sister is dying, "In the first hours and days she will be around you, only she will not say anything, and you will not be able to see her, but she will be right there." This last case, however, is not the rule. A certain number of accounts tell of the appearance, either in a state of waking or a dream, of the dead to members of their circle during the first days following their decease. The 3rd day, which, along with the 9th and 40th days, is strongly valorized within the liturgical setting and in prayers for the dead, and which in ancient Christian texts is accorded more space than the very day of burial, marks the end of this process of separation and access to another stage of post-mortem life. In symbolic relation with Christ's resurrection, it too was accomplished on the 3rd day. This is when the raising of the soul to heaven occurs. During the 3-day period following death, the body has not lost its recognizable form. The ancients thought that during these 3 days the soul that had been separated from the body was capable of returning, and that the dead person was therefore capable of returning to life. Thus, those accounts that mention a miraculous resurrection almost always situate it in this 3-day period. From this also follows the belief and practice according to which a dead person should not be buried before these 3 days have elapsed. These beliefs should be put in symbolic relation with the fact that Christ's soul was separated from his body for the 3 days that followed his death in order to descend into hell before resuming this body on the 3rd day for its resurrection. These experiences of disincorporation and reincorporation, described by the Orthodox faithful or by authors having collected the accounts of near-death experiences, can find a justification within the framework of this conception. Thus, St. Athanasius writes, "How is it that certain people die, have visions, and come back to life after 2 or 3 days to relate them? This is because their soul has not altogether left the body."